How's everybody doing? Today's video is going to be another review / reaction to a favorite Buckethead solo of mine. This one was performed at the Italian American Social Club. Hopefully that's the right name of the venue. 2005-2006 era Buckethead. One of my favorite guitar tones, one of my favorite guitarists, my favorite era of his as far as playing and groove, and it's just, he really could do no wrong at this time. In my mind, this is like the pinnacle of guitar playing. Maybe not the most technical song ever, so, you know, take it easy on that, but this is a fun song to play, as well as the last one was. The last video I just finished recording was the one from Gory Head Stump from this performance. And this song, Revenge of the Double Man, I also practice with the backing track for this song sometimes. It's very fun. And really that's what it all comes down to. I mean, do you want to have a hobby or, you know, spend so much time to build a skill as guitar playing and it's not going to be fun? I mean, the whole point of it is to have fun while doing it, to be able to, you know, enjoy it, use it to your benefit, use it as your own form of meditation, your own form of entertainment. You know, your guitar might be expensive, but it's a lot cheaper than a million other things you could be doing that are a lot worse. So just, this is one of those songs from this era of Buckethead that just is always fun for me, both to play and to listen to. And this is one of my favorite versions that he's done. So without further ado, let's get into it. With Pinch Face. Great little sort of chromatic riff. This is really easy to play, by the way, this whole part. I mean, that's what makes it fun. But that tone that he has with that guitar, that setup, with his triple rectifier, that like, it's just so aggressive. I mean, it's just beautifully aggressive. It's just like, it's very imposing, but also somehow smooth. Now get ready for this totally uncalled for grooviness. Buckethead in this era was just groovy as hell. And watch his picking hand here. Like the way that he is literally like plucking very much near the bridge. He's like halfway over the bridge pickup. And he's getting a little bit more twang out of the guitar than most people would be getting right now. And it is, he's just grooving. It's like, it's second nature to him, but every time that I've seen him live, and in all the videos that I watch of him where you can clearly see it, I love to watch his picking hand because you can learn a ton from watching his picking hand. I mean, look at this. Look what he's doing there. He's not even using a pick. He's just plucking real tight down by the bridge where it's going to be bright and twangy. Then he finds his pick again. Now he's picking and hybrid picking. Now he's pulling his hybrid picking plugs back to the bridge. I mean, this guy, the way that he plays, it's like very smooth and groovy, and I hate to talk over it and I hate to pause it because like it's so satisfying to listen to, but his technique of his picking hand is unlike any other guitarist I've ever observed or seen in videos or seen live or anything like that. I mean, hopefully you guys will be watching his picking hand as much as you can throughout the rest of this, because just the way he comes into that is unusual, and I would say most guitarists would not be nearly that dynamic in their picking hand to pull a solo completely improvised like this, because I will tell you the original song Revenge of the Double Man does not have a solo like this in it. This is just Buckethead in the mood, just laying down incredible groovy solos for the world. So it's like he's just touching the strings. There's the pick. Hybrid. Plucking again. Now he just did a little slap, like slap bass. Now he's doing a lot of hammer and claw. He's basically playing slap right here, like he's playing bass. And there goes the pick again. You can kind of see when he pulls the pick out, he goes from slap right there to then all of a sudden he pulls the pick out from like, it's probably in between his ring finger and middle finger because they're so tight together, but it's like the pick is gone right there, and then he just pulls it out like a sleight of hand magic trick to go from playing as if he's playing slap bass, but he's playing a guitar solo, to picking like a normal person would do. There's the pick. Doing hybrid picking though. That tone is just awesome too. Hybrid picking that. And the whole way through, the bass player is playing the same riff, that heavy like that sort of like chromatic heavy riff. I would say it's metal, but I'm not qualified to speak on metal, but it sounds pretty metal to me with being so chromatic. But then he's playing this like groovy, funky hybrid picked thing on top of it. So it's just a style that I really, really love. And he's picking right there with his pick, but it's right over the back half of the bridge pickup. So he's getting if you pick like that on a Les Paul, you're getting a very tight string feel because you're picking like right 2 centimeters away from the bridge, and it's going to be very twangy. So, and it's almost like he doesn't really think about it. It's just second nature to him, the way that he manipulates his guitar. Unreal, this guy. That's tight. Back to a normal picking position. That's onto the neck pickup, obviously. Very fluffy sounding. Back to the bridge pickup, but he's still in a normal position, so it's not as twangy. Love that. That's sort of like, almost like a little turnaround he does there, hammering on. I mean, if somebody were to really break this solo down, or any of his solos down note for note, it would be like 10 hours, and it would be pointless. I'm trying to give you the parts of it that I really like. So I'm not going to be, going down a rabbit hole of theory, but the mechanics of his playing are the most fascinating part of it to me. Those little hammer-on turnarounds right there. Hybrid picked that part. To the kill switch. I mean, it's not really a pentatonic groove, but he is rocking it like it is. It's like a blues scale. Back to the main riff. I also like in that one part there, you can see right here how Buckethead's original custom-made Les Paul, I'll call it, before he had his actual signature model. This was one of his 2 custom-made Les Pauls that he got from being in Guns N' Roses that he used for several years afterwards. This shot right here shows you that guitar is basically a reverse Gothic color scheme, but it's a gloss, if that makes any sense. So, Gibson had the Gothic color scheme in the early 2000s, which was basically all black. It was like all matte black on black, and it had like a white outline of like a custom logo, like the custom shop inlay would be in the middle of the headstock, but it's just like an outline of it. Same with the actual Gibson inlay that would normally be in the headstock. So he's playing essentially an oversized, custom-made, hollowed-out Les Paul custom is what it's based on. You can also see here that his frets are actually over the binding. And I don't know if these are the original frets that this guitar had, or if it's been refretted since they made it for him, but Gibson typically would have fret nibs. So if it is not refretted, then that was a very custom spec because they would have done fret nibs. That would be their standard thing, where the fret would be cut short and the binding would actually make up the end of the fret here. Right here, I should say. But you can see in this shot that his frets, the fret wire goes to the edge of the fretboard as if it's a cheaper guitar and not a Gibson with the nibs. So if these are original, that was a custom order thing. If it's a refret, then I wouldn't be surprised because he played this thing for years by this point. And also, you know, you can kind of see the whole color scheme. It's like a reverse Gothic, and the white hardware instead of black hardware and that type of thing. But also, if you've ever seen his guitars in person, then you would see that whenever he sort of turns around, there's an image of Orville Gibson on the base of the headstock, sort of on the back right here. And that is also a feature of what would be a Gothic, but because his is pure white, it's like a reverse Gothic, but it's also custom. So, and it's also oversized. And I'm pretty sure, judging by the sound of it, that it has DiMarzio pickups in this particular guitar. But with all that being said, it's just interesting to see, you know, some video footage that shows his guitar so well. And this being my favorite guitar of his, that probably my favorite guitar out of anybody in history who's ever played, because it's such a great sounding guitar. Sorry to go off on a tangent like that. You know, the real Gibson or guitar nerds in general will appreciate that, hopefully. He's playing slap right here like he's playing bass. I mean, it's just great playing. Wow. Little double stops. Very groovy. This is a fun riff. I mean, this song is not hard to play. You can do whatever you want with it. You know, you don't have to be as good as Buckethead to play this song. But this ending is awesome right there. The way that he shreds out of this thing, like, listen to this. Come on. I bet he does another shred here. He used to shred to end this thing. Oh, maybe not. I guess I was wrong about that. Sometimes he shredded to end that riff in this era. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. A little bit of Buckethead insight, a little bit of insight about his guitar. His playing is just outstanding. You know, I really would like to continue to spread the word of how much of a technical genius, how much of a mechanical genius this guy is. You know, he's a very groovy, soulful player, but he's simultaneously a pro athlete. And hopefully you guys will gain an appreciation. And if anybody's watching this who's younger than me, which is more and more likely by the day, because, you know, I'm getting older and older by the day, hopefully you guys will be interested to check out more Buckethead stuff, because this guy, as far as I'm concerned, is the greatest guitar player who has ever lived so far. And luckily for us, he's still alive and he's still producing music and he's still doing shows. So if you have a chance to, I would encourage anybody to watch him live or listen to anything else by Buckethead, because all around genius. Probably my biggest guitar inspiration, despite the fact that everybody says my playing is more like Slash than Buckethead. Still a compliment, but I'd have to say Buckethead's my favorite guitarist. Anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to share it and subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you guys next time.